Hello everyone, it's Dios and Madam Tilly, and these are my boobs. And welcome to ERP, the Elezen Retrospective Podcast. Yas Queen. Got my emotes all fucked up. But, alright, hope everyone's doing good this week. Alright, so, continuing where we left off, last time. Hello there. How you doing, Dubby? Good to see you, darling. Mwah. Let's see, World of Warcraft. Oh my. That's right, it is coming up new shit, so. They've been cranking out some content lately. Hope you're doing well, darling. Alright. First, before I get on to, back onto the, internet stuff, the Lodestone news. Okay, I decided just wanted to talk about a couple, soundtracks that I've been playing during my, not my raiding, but my dungeoning, while level grinding. Recently listened to the, the Xenogear, I'm sorry, not Xenogear, the Xenogear Shinkaku, the vinyl record. I thought this was very good, although a lot of tracks did get a little repetitive, but it actually made me want to try the Xenogear series, for sure. I mean, it predates Xenosaga, and I adore Xenosaga. Let's see here. And then, another, album is the the Chrono Trigger and Chrono Cross Arrangement album, which crazy timing because the Chrono Cross remaster just came out, so everyone's all my RPG friends are like streaming it right now. But the arrangement album, I thought this was very beautiful and badass, and it made me want to try Chrono. Like I've been getting teased Chrono Trigger all throughout the years. I don't know why, but I was like, I'm Final Fantasy, I'm good. I don't need Chrono. The game can't even get a second sequel. But the fact it's held up so long, and it's considered on par with like Final Fantasy sets as far as Super Nintendo RPGs go, I may have to fucking try it. But yeah, definitely try out if you collect vinyl records. Definitely, I think it might be on CD as well. Yeah, it is on CD as well. But I listen to the vinyl, which is great. But yeah, definitely pick up the soundtrack. Lastly, I got me the Nier Automata and Replicant. This is the it's the soundtrack vinyl box set. This stuff is so wonderful and relaxing. I only played like a minute of Automata, so I haven't even picked up Replicant. That's probably Replicant and Stranger of Paradise are like the two biggest newish games. I think Replicant might still be on sale for another day or two. I just wish I could afford it. I should put it on my phone wish list. Yeah, except for, but the funny thing is, too, is, like, it's all, like, relaxing and beautiful, except for, like, the first track on each, disc, or side. Because basically, I put it in, expected to get some chill music, and suddenly I get, like, the heavy, like, powerful opera music, like, whoa, okay, we're into action. And then the rest of the album's chill, so, it's like, yeah, brace yourself at the beginning. But yeah, it literally threw me off every fucking time. Oh man, but definitely a beautiful vinyl to pick up. Oh, it's also on CD too. That's right, yeah. So, if you prefer the old compact disc, pick this up. let's see here. But yeah, getting back into the talking about the internet stuff like we were in the last episode. So we went over the patch 6.1 notes. First, I want to talk about Hatching Tide. All right, we got an Easter event, and look at this beautiful fucking tomboy bunny girl. Whew, redheads, gotta love them. Let's see here. Poor mascot chicken person. Hippity hoppity, happy Hatching Tide. As far as I'm going on, going to be visiting family for the weekend. I didn't even know it was like freaking Easter, so I get to celebrate, hiding all the eggs, from my nieces and nephews before they go on the hunt. I can imagine too. It's like, Aunt Tilly, where are all the Easter eggs? We went all over the yard. And I'd be like, they're up my ass. Jihi Alafov is nearly hopping with excitement to discuss the miracle that is this year's Hatching Tide with you nearly. Okay. Oh, coming level 15? That's so high? Fuck. The Makoto's Amphitheater. Why does the Makoto's Amphitheater get all of the fucking events? You know? And you definitely tell the girl here and over the email, it's like, you definitely tell, like, yeah, this is going up my ass. Definitely getting that minion. I'm doing it just for this fucking bunny. And the egg, to be honest. I'm kind of careless about these items, though. Yeah. I mean, maybe I'll get the eggs berry basket just for, like, ERP purposes. So April 13th. Okay, I have to mark that down. But yeah, number one priority though, that fucking minion. Okay, and then duty commence. Unfortunately, I won't be here for this one because I'll be at it. Let's see, the next episode of Duty Commence, the North Carolina Community Team's live show, set for April 8th. They will be reviewing some of the latest information from part large ass LSS of the letter for the producer live. The team would also like to see if luck is on their side, exploring treasure maps to lead them to the Exatron 6000 along with you, of course. Yeah, so even if I wasn't working, I still gotta go out of town. Otherwise, I'd probably just take the day off work and watch it. Wait, who is it? Montoya. Friday. Okay. Yep. Official Twitch channel. Oh, nice. Giveaways. Oh, see, I want to be there for those. Fat cat figurine. I want to find. I want to win those. Yeah, so that's a skimpy outfit I got going on underneath my red suit. I was gonna get my long hair out for the debut episode, but I ran out of money. I can make it look good short hair. Medium. Oh man. I wonder if I should try to look up the art. We can look at the art sometime. Well, I'll be taking a look at this. Maybe talk about it on the next podcast. Let's see here. And Hatching Tide. Looking forward to talking about that. Okay, but let's have a little fun, shall we? Any way to make this bigger? So let me go ahead and transform, stretch the screen. Here we go. Okay. Any way to zoom in a little more? blow it up a little. Oh, I mean, this is pretty good, but let's try to blow it up some more. Yeah, this got to do. Is there a night theme, or do I just think this bright ass white? Also, let me go to these real quick. Maybe if I go into my account. Let's see here. No, don't see it in here. Okay, so scroll. I plan on doing these a lot with the podcasts. You know, especially with guests. Just going over through all the Final Fantasies or whatever, or be like villains or husbandos and waifus or the best weapons or whatever. Our best characters from each game, and make a tier list because it's also a good idea for discussions. But since how we're starting off, you know, with me chronologically in my retrospective, let's see. I thought, you know, let's just tell you where I am with each Final Fantasy. There are still a few I left off this list, like more obscure ones, like the Chocobo games are on here. Well, because these are the ones that I just have a little, you know, just a little bit of experience with. Also, should I, yeah, I got that crackling fire in the background. I should probably get rid of that. Anyways. Okay, so but let's go through it. Where I would say they rank, because I want to do this again next year and see where they compare. Because like I said, I didn't fall out of love, but I kind of I fell off with the Final Fantasies. I haven't played many of these for over a decade, so it's also just like, you know, memory loss and stuff like that. But yeah, starting the ones stuck behind my head here, Final Fantasy VIII. This one was always in my top 5, because I got about the same time as 7. So I played them back to back. But I did think I liked 7 more. But still, 8 was really highly up there. But I haven't played this one in like in a long time. So I'm looking forward just for a refresher course. And I can't wait to talk about I can't wait to talk about all of these in long form discussion. But for me, 8 was an A. But even though it had the impossible task of following Final Fantasy 7, and some of the systems were like nonsensical. Let's see here now. Mystic Quest. This one I never played personally. Welcome back, Bear. Okay, hoping we got the good foodstuffs. Yeah, like literally I had just ate like, you know, salad and vegetables for lunch. And then my roommate brings me a deep dish pizza. It's like, temptation. Let's see here, Mystic Quest. I never played this one personally. I know I've seen a couple people play a little bit of it, and I also heard but I've heard the talk over all the years on how this was the fucking laughing joke of the series, you know. And it's basically, you know, Final Fantasy for dummies. Which would later be replaced by Final Fantasy 13. Really hard Mystic Quest, but it's pretty decent introductory RPG for children. It's for kids. Which is pretty cool. I mean, because it's Super Nintendo. You know, Super Nintendo is the kids' console. So hopefully I'll get around to playing Mystic Quest at some points. We'll give it a C for now. Oh, by the way, I accidentally put Final Fantasy 4 on here twice. Just, you know, so. Let's see here. Dirge of Cerberus. I I fucking love this game so much. But it's sad that everyone shits on the game. Uh, Including fellow hardcore Final Fantasy fans. It tried to expand the lore. It's technically like one of the last things that happened in the 7 timeline. But yeah, I love third-person shooters. You know, not first-person. I love third-person shooters. So it's like, you know, kind of Gears of War. Plus, I like the fact with Vincent, because it's not like a cover shooter. Vincent literally can move around so fast and he jumps and flips and shit. So it's great to, you know, try to dodge bullets everywhere and stuff. And of course it's Vincent, so everything's kind of like brooding and grim dark a bit. The bosses I thought were cool, especially what's her name, Rosso, the redhead chick, and the big dude. What's funny is Shulk is also another like a sus character, because technically she's a 20-year-old woman in a 10-year-old girl's body. So it'd be weird when people kind of crush on her. Also Nero, he's very looked over. But of course it also features Yuffie. I do adore me some Yuffie. But I love the gameplay. I love what it adds. I love the maps. I thought it dragged out a little bit near the final act. But it gave a proper ending to Vincent as well. It was good. So I love Dirt Cerberus. Let's see here. Yeah, so I'm gonna give it an A. Okay, Final Fantasy VII. Well, that's an easy S right there, you know. But you know, it's the first. You know, it was my first JRPG. It was my first PS1 game and my first Final Fantasy game. And since then, JRPG is my favorite genre. PS1's been my favorite console, and Final Fantasy's been my favorite series. You know, there's not a lot to really say about it without going into a big discussion. But yeah, it's just game's still beautiful and wonderful and amazing. It's not perfect, hell no. But I fucking love it. Let's see here. Then we have Final Fantasy. I 100% complete Fantasy 7 more times than recommended for being to do so. I'm not sure I 100% because I didn't want to bother with the weapons, Ruby and Diamond. But yeah, I beat the shit out of it. One time I even managed to beat it in like a full week. Yeah, like 1 week. Oh, man. So, a remake. Ooh. I was disappointed with what, because I don't actually like it as much as I did when I was a kid. Getting in arguments with the gamers or game faction forums about it. Oh yeah. It was always a combo point. Whether you're arguing about it or you talk about the lore and stuff like that. Yeah, like this, Final Fantasy VII is considered like the most important Final Fantasy. And I'd say it's the highest selling PS1 game ever. It's like up there with Metal Gear Solid 1. Now, remake. One, I'm not a fan of the battle system. I think it's so stiff and just don't like. Just not a big fan. And the fact that they censored Tifa to hell. They shrunk her titties and gave her like 5 sports bras to wear. It's my game of the year for that year. Yeah, it's like it was funny is I was having a good time at first with remake watching someone else play. I was watching someone like Maximilian Dudes. I was watching him play through it and fanboy over it, and I was enjoying it. I was actually enjoying it along with him. But then, I support shrinking her titties and making her look real athletic. Beach balls get in the way when you fight like that. Saying it, I was gonna get back to the titties, but I don't support it at all. In fact, I actually heard the Tifa that we got was a compromise. If the ethics department had their entire way of it, they want her to make look more like Abby from Last of Us 2. Like I said, I do love me some buff, sexy women, but you don't have to change, establish characters into that. Um, but no, like I said, I like huge, fantasy. Basically, I like these, big fantasy, like bimbo porn star tits. Problem Princess Twinks. I fucking love your name. Welcome to the Waifu Tavern, darling. Mwah. Hear about that with a grain of salt. The gamers are still mad about girls. That girls existing games still don't spread all kinds of rumors. I can see that. Oh, well. Boop. Hey, pets. Welcome, darling. But yeah, so now I was totally pro original Tifa. Yeah. Hello, and hello to that welcome gift, this thingy. Aw, glad you like it. Y'all my alerts are like that. Twerks and bouncies. So yeah, I literally minus points off the total score just because of Tifa. Let's see here. But of course, the episode part was all about, supporting cross-dressing Cloud. But, which I do love. But still, it's like, I knew they're gonna be all about that shit. Because basically, it's like people are trying to, the sad thing is, like, Anita Sarkeesian recently said, it's been 10 years since she started that whole game tropes versus women series. And 10 years later, she feels feminism has won. In a way, she's right, sadly, because now women look. We're recommending you to be here. Oh, nice. Any darling friend of Bear's is a friend of mine. Mwah. Love me some Bear. But yeah, she was saying that there's this thing. Yeah, women are less interesting looking. There's no because women do love power fantasy too. A lot of female gamers love big titty, scantily clad women in video games. But yeah, so yeah, power fantasy's gone. The femme fatale trope is basically dead. The slutty outfits are going away. Women are looking basically like men, and men are looking like women. It's like the next generation wants androgyny. Have you seen it? Always been a grifter and real actual feminist. Know that. True that. Let's see here. But yeah, and so anyways, I was enjoying remake, watching it, but then a copy landed in my lap, because in the form of the very first stimulus check, which, oh yeah, okay, yeah, but I remember so that was like one of, and so I went on a little shopping spree and got that, but then friends were like telling me like you should play it, experience it firsthand, Don't spoil yourself, because I only gotten so far into that my friend's playthrough. Like up until like Aerith. He was having a blast. I was having a blast watching it with him. So I decided to play it myself, and playing it. And, the expression playing is a lot different than watching, because sometimes you can. Because I had a friend who fucking didn't really get Castlevania Symphony of the Night, but then he got to borrow it for a week, and he fucking adores that series, the Castlevania. And so, but it was completely opposite of remake. I loved watching it, but when I got to play it, I couldn't stand it. Yeah, and with the difficulties, it was either too easy or too hard. So I might go back to watching it first before I even play it. But I at least want to finish it once, And Intergrade, I got picked that up. I'll probably have to pick it up for Epic Game Store since I don't have a PS5. Can't find one. The cheapest PS5 I've seen so far is $800. Yeah, Intergrade looks interesting because it's brought back a lot of Georgia Cerberus and Yuffie stuff. Like, interesting. Oh yeah, Daryl Cat, darling! Yas Queen, good to see you! I love you! gameplay is a little bit like a Kingdom Hearts, to be honest. Yeah, nothing wrong with that. But I prefer turn-based. And, let's see here. And I kind of want to do a little something where, like, I play FF7 and Remake side by side. Like, I'll stream, like, in a stream, I'll do 2 hours of original, then 2 hours of Remake. Or vice versa. So we can play along side by side each other. But so far, I give it a C. It's not what it appears to be on the surface. True, true. Because I've heard someone mention about it, it's like kind of where they're changing the timeline, but they're also trying to correct the timeline with those ghost people. Interesting take. What's up, Tilly? Tyler Don, good to see you. Oh, we're just talking about Final Fantasy stuff on the Final Fantasy Podcast. Okay. Final Fantasy Type 0. Basically a stealth sequel / rewrite. Huh. I don't know where you get the sequel from, but rewrite, yeah. At least we're getting another remake later on. That's the turn-based with the better graphics. Okay, so anyways, Final Fantasy Type 0. This one I've only played a couple hours, like 2 hours. Nice emote styling. But I know it's got some hardcore fans. Like my friend Victoria Holgrave, she loves this game, and everyone loves the girl with the scythe because she's edgy. But it's Ace who's always in the crossovers. But you get actually 14 characters or something like that, which you haven't had that much since Final Fantasy VI. And so yeah, I liked the amount of characters to choose from, and I liked the like when you first start, you get this base to run around. It's this expansive base, so I love the exploration. So I can't wait to get into this one. All these Final Fantasy games just came back correct. We are ranking and retrospecting all the Final Fantasy games, at least all the ones I've had experience with. And I want to do this again next year to see if my thoughts have changed, because I haven't played most of these in like 10 years. It's only game like 15, exactly. Let's see. Yeah, what was I about? It was fun to like like this character has 1 gun, this character has 2 guns, or something like that. So far I'm gonna put Type 0 in B since it's a little inexperienced, but I'm kind of itching to get to it. All right, I think this one is Final Fantasy 11. Let's see here. It's a very impressive PSP for a PSP game. Yeah, although my experience was with the PS4 version. It really looks less impressive until you remember it starting the PSP. Yeah, and even then, I would say it's more impressive than Crisis Core, because there's just a lot more going on in the maps and stuff. Like the battles got more people on there, and a lot of shit going on at once. I think the environments are a little more interesting looking. Got more NPCs in them. Whereas Crisis Core is just Zack and whatever appears, and not a lot of NPCs in the overworld. Okay. See, experience is 10 and 11 and 12. I mean, I'd say if you feel it, just put down the form, and we'll talk about those when it's time to talk about them. I'll bring you on. First, let's go ahead and bring on my Love Goddess outfit. Love you, darlings. Crisis Core is also much earlier on the PSP. They understood the console's capabilities a lot more by Type 0. So, Final Fantasy 11. Now, this one I can't really say much about. but I can talk about my experiences trying to play the damn game. Um, where like tried to get the PS2 online to work, didn't work. Was it the Xbox 360 or didn't work? I even got the the PC version, parts of it. I could not get the fucking, basically it's that damn Play Online service. That service is the real final boss. The first and final boss. Play Online sucks. Like, fuck, I'm willing to put up all the game's faults and its old style and even the monthly subscription. But I cannot seem to get into the goddamn official game. Pretty quick. Yeah. And just as hard as it's to understand it, I hear it's even harder if you want to unsubscribe. So, yeah, it's like, Square, please, fix this game. Yeah, get rid of Play Online. And as I was saying, too, is like 14 is also hard to fucking, actually buy. Particularly for the PC version. But still, Play Online is like 10 times worse. It's a fucking nightmare. Yep, I heard about that, Bear. Basically, it's like DLC for a PS1 game in 2000. Wow. Which was your favorite? Fuck yeah. Yeah, it simply didn't work for me. Right. Like, I feel like it probably won't work for me at all, but I do want to experience it. But we all know 10-2 is the real 11. But, so yeah, 11. Yeah, get on there. Call it 10 or so. Okay. Let's see your Final Fantasy Crisis Core. We just talked about this one too. Alright, so, I remember getting this game, it's like, holy shit, more Final Fantasy, 7 lore? PS2 remake, really? No, a PS1 game. Wait, what are we talking about? But yeah, Crisis Core, like, PS1 was before my time. Yeah. I wish I could say I was more surprised, but Square Enix, so, yeah. At least the DLC is pretty quality. Yeah. Yeah, PS1 was my time, because, I remember, I believe I was like 13. So, even though I was around during like the Nintendo, Sega era and stuff, and played those consoles for a few years by then, I guess by the time you hit teenage, that's when like nostalgia like really sinks in. Like that's I think like the teenage years is like your prime gaming. So I was the first grade when the PS2 was the new thing. Nice, so I was just starting high school. Darling, I'm old. I just turned 36, like, 7 days ago. PS2 in 1999. I can imagine. I don't know how they fucking did it, but... my prime? Nice. Yeah, PS1 and PS2 are my prime. Because I kind of got the PS1 a little late into its cycle. I got it, like, Christmas of 98, so 99, and then, like, just a year or two later, the PS2 came out. Yeah, because 95 said 7. So, yeah, I got in, like, year 5 of its life cycle. So, PS2 was coming out a year later. And so, yeah, PS1 and 2 is kind of when I rocked throughout the 2000s, for the most part. It wasn't until I graduated high school and got a job in the late 2000s that I was able to actually start buying newer consoles and more games. So even though it was 2009, basically 2009 is when I finally got like an Xbox 360. But until then, I was rocking a PS2, way past its life cycle. So yeah, PS1 and 2 is all I had for like a decade. Also DLC in disc form. Oh wow. But yeah, I remember when they sold expansion packs on disc instead of online. High school freshman 09. Nice. Yeah, 01 is when I was a freshman. Graduating 05. But around that time, like I would say like 09ish, probably like late 2000s. Crisis Core. I mean, I wanted this game so bad, and I think most of us had to, steal our dad's credit card phase. And there's two major things I bought with that credit card. I bought a bunch of like Viva La Bam and Jackass DVDs and stuff off eBay, and the other thing was getting myself a PSP. Freshman 2011. Ooh, you a baby. Well, you a man now. You're in your 20s now. That doesn't surprise me at all about Capcom. There's so many remixes of Street Fighter. Doesn't surprise me at all. But as I was saying, ain't that the truth, cat? Yeah. Come up, Tilly. I'm gonna stream. Thank you, darling. Love you. Mwah. Oh yeah, Final Fantasy VII Crisis Core. Because I remember I saw it, and it was actually a sweet bundle too. It had like all three games I wanted for PSP at the time. Crisis Core also had like Daxter, because I love Jak and Daxter, and I think it had Metal Gear Solid. Not Peace Walk, or Portable Ops. The three games I wanted was actually in this bundle, and because I feel old. I hear you, darling. I hear you. Imagine being 37. Like 7 once. DLC. Oh, EA, fuck them. They're gonna start a major Japanese company that up. So I'm basically all about the Square games, Sega, Capcom, Konami, Atlas, Bandai Namco, maybe Sony. All that extra. Oh man. And so I remember eBay's when I remember I tried buying like a PSP beforehand, but like I put the bid in, and like literally at the last minute, I think I got outbid, and I was sad. That's why I realized the dangers are like the dangerous game of eBay. Is that no matter even if you're gonna own that, at the very last minute, people will be watching that shit and they're gonna outbid you. And so I was ready this time, and sure enough, I read the last like minute or something. I refreshed the page, and sure enough, someone fucking outbid me. So I outbid them and kept refreshing, and I noticed they were doing the same. It was a fucking bidding war. And finally, when the time ended, I refreshed the page, and I fucking won. Sadly, though, I paid like $50 more than I wanted to on my dad's credit card. But I got my PSP bundle. And yeah, Crisis Core was such a damn good time. It goes in my top 10 Final Fantasies for a while. With all the added lore and the remastering of the Final Fantasy VII story. Things I remember, like I'd say like about 2, 3, 4 years ago, on stream I tried playing it again, and kind of what we talked about earlier, it had so little going for it with like the battle system and the exploration system. It's really hard to go back to. I'll probably play it again one more time. But so far, I will probably give it a, I'll give it an A. Phone time. Final Fantasy 13. Okay, it's funny is that like this game is kind of getting a resurgent, like again talked about again. Like I've been seeing a lot of videos pop up in the last year or two, of Final Fantasy 13. Like, is it any good now, or was it decent after all, or something like that? You know, is it worth playing? Like 10 years later. So I remember the game got so hated. And I remember too, before I seen the hate, I remember buying it. I was just hyped for another mainline Final Fantasy. And I remember just having such a majestic time watching those beautiful cutscenes. You know, in my small room back then. I don't understand the story at all, but the gameplay is decent. Yeah, story's a little bit confusing. The gameplay I wasn't too crazy about, because it just felt like very limited. Like, it felt like Final Fantasy for dummies, because all you had to do was just run in a straight line and press X to win. Hell, they even released a fucking strategy guide for it. Like, well, there's no strategy. But, you know, I did like the story a bit. I did like the characters. And it's funny, it's considered the best of the Final Fantasy 13 trilogy. But it's my least favorite. But I'm definitely going to be playing it again soon. It's also the only mainline Final Fantasy that never got a remaster. You notice that? Like 1, 2, and 3 got multiple remasters. So is 4 got the 3D remake. 5 technically got a shitty remaster. And this is before Pixel. Let's see here. 6 got the PSP. Yes, yeah, I think 6 got PSP as well. Treatment. Of course, 7 got a remake, 8 got a remaster, so did 9, and 10, and 10-2. 12 got the Zodiac Age, 11 got expansions, apparently that counts. 15 got the Pocket Edition, but 13 never got any kind of remaster. It only ever got like a Steam port. But yeah, so I'm gonna, where should we rank this one? Oh, it's probably in the BC area. But do I like it more than... I'm gonna give it a C. $15 had a Vita version? No, wait, could have been. But it was called... I know it was on the Switch. It might also be on the Steam, but it's definitely on the Switch, called the Pocket Edition. Oh, and mobile. That's what. So, yeah. Vita was being phased out by the time 15 came out. Vita. So, yeah, it's on mobile phones and tablets. And Switch. Oh, it's interesting. I forgot to put 15 on here. Oh, shit. No, there it is. Okay. It's like, huh, who did I miss? Okay, next up, Final Fantasy Crystal Bearers. Alright, this one, like, try to scoot back here. Here, let me get away from my big hair. Yeah, that's what it looks like. Crystal Bearers is such a rare game, because it's a spin-off of a spin-off. Ever seen the games on Vita? Yeah, but Sony doesn't really care about the Vita. They would have shut Vita down if it wasn't for the fans. Hell, Sony wanted to shut down the PS3 store, but it's still being kept alive because of fan demand. But yeah, they quickly stopped promoting Vita like after the first year. Yeah, when's the last time you seen a Vita crossplay? Let's see here. Yeah, like I would say, even though they're around, I would say the handheld consoles seem to have a shorter lifespan. Anyways, Crystal Bears. This was a spin-off of Crystal Chronicles for Nintendo Wii. I remember when I first got my Wii, Darkest Dungeon. Oh, nice. Yeah, I got a bunch of games, and I saw it's exclusive Final Fantasy. And it's different because it uses the Wii motion controls to like kind of psychic power throw shit. What the? Just bought you bingo gingo. Oh, thank you, darling. Thank you so much. Sweet, I got a fancy new mouse coming. Thank you so much. Oh, mwah. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Yeah, high five. Bouncy, bouncy, bouncy. Oh, but so I was saying, I thought Leo was awesome. Leo was like a badass. He didn't have too much of emotion, but he just didn't take no shit. You know, like cops wanted to arrest him, so he beat the cops. Or like the first scene you get of him, he kind of jumps out of a fucking airship with a fucking minigun, gunning down other airships and flying monsters as he's falling down. Fucking badass intro to a character. You know, y'all should check out Crystal Bears. Low gas level up, you got it, darling. Let's see. You know, because you did, I don't level up too, so we got the Tiara and the Shinies. Okay. But yeah, so it's an obscure game, sadly. So hey, I got Laura Bailey in it too, so I'm gonna put it at a B. Okay, next up, Final Fantasy II. Alrighty, well, this one didn't go over too well with me. It's just that it's considered that Final Fantasy, you know, like because they try to do too many things differently. Like with the leveling up system and stuff like that. And I was actually gonna be okay grinding, but the way the world map is, like, if you go step in the wrong area, you die, because monsters suddenly go from like level 1 to fucking 20 or something like that. And it's like it doesn't really mark where the boundaries are very well. So it's like I would have to literally save my game like every 30 seconds, because battles do be quick. So it's just such an inconvenience to play. I would say that Farron and the Emperor are pretty cool in the Cydia. But yeah, this one I'm going to have to give a D for Dick. Okay. Final Fantasy X-2. This game is basically the real 11 for a lot of us single player gamers. You know, because even if you could get on the Final Fantasy 11 easily, you got freaking you got for play online, but there's so many people who are like, oh, I don't care for online gameplay, so they usually skip over 11 and 14, which really shouldn't have been main number Final Fantasies to begin with, but it is what it is. So 10-2 makes sense because it's a sequel to 10, and it came out before 12. So it's kind of like convenient 11. But as for the game, it's in my possibly top 3. Yeah, because if you try to think here, yeah, because if you don't count 14, but yeah, it would be like my third favorite Final Fantasy. So I would say my top 5, at least before, was Tactics, then 7, then 10-2. And then, 13, 3, and 8. You know what? The better ones I enjoyed? Yeah, this one kind of felt a little more lighthearted compared, not so serious as well, because they're all like, okay, we all got band together to save the world from, evil force. When this one's more like, just three chicks having a good time at their job. You know, I loved all the lighthearted adventures. I love the variety of stuff you get to do. I love the variety in the outfits, you know. This game was loaded with content. It's like the right amount of content, too. Because most of the stuff was unique and didn't really repeat, like your modern day game that's like 100 hours long, repeats the same side quests. You know, so yeah, it's like take notes, new games. You know, so yeah, 10-2 is amazing. So yeah, that one's S tier for me. Hang with my parents, nice. How was it, Stu? Let's see here. Final Fantasy IV. This one is the only Final Fantasy mainline title that I have like zero experience with. It was great, so I was turning red. Oh, I want to watch that with you. Oh well. Second. Yeah, the dice ever landed on a movie night. I was gonna do turning red at some point. So yeah, well, it's like the only Final Fantasy mainline Fantasy I never played. And like it just always eluded me. Like I never got the Origin bits during the PS1 days. I didn't own a Sega Super Nintendo. And yeah, I just never got into playing 4 at all. And that's why I just wanted to play 4 before I played 5. Because 5 didn't win a poll for a next playthrough. But 4, if I recall, 4 was neck and neck with Cyberpunk. So it showed me a lot of people wanted to see me play it anyway. So I feel like I should play 4 before I play 5. And you know, if you ask the community, like many people believe that if you like, what should be your first Final Fantasy? 4 is great if you're into that retro pixel style. So for now, I'm gonna put this as a B. Final Fantasy 3. Let's see here. This one I wanted to like. Faraday, darling, dongs, Yas queen. It's like, dongs for the win. How about 15 though? We're gonna get there. We can talk about 15 now, I guess. Okay, so Final Fantasy 15. This one, it's like, I remember going into it, with skepticism, because I wasn't able to buy it right away. But everyone kept. Oh, I gotta sneeze. Bless me. Oh. Thank you. Stop sneezing or stop being cute. That was one. Oh, I'm taping these all back to back, and we're gonna put them all on its own YouTube page every Friday, Final Fantasy Friday. And I will be taping another episode after this. Last episode we mostly went over 6.1 patch. But yeah, Faraday is gonna be one of the very first guests I have on, probably on episode 4. Just wanted to get the groundwork on establishing where I'm at in the game and telling stories of my origin and my FC and my thoughts on Final Fantasy as a whole. Because like I said, once the open world genre came into play, I kind of fell out of favor with JRPGs. And I'm trying to get back into my first love. And Tyler, here you go, darling. Mwah! Okay, but 15, I remember seeing so much flack for it on Facebook. How it was like 75% side quests, you know? And so it was just it got more hate than it did love. And I remember if it was just 3 months later, I saw it on it being sold for $30. And people were like, yeah, that's worth for $30. Okay, you got it, darling. Like, I don't plan on getting monetized on YouTube anyway. Oh yeah, look at those hips. Oh yeah. You like that cake? That sparkly, shaky cake? Oh yeah, goddess cake. Mm. That's the angel food cake right there, darling. Been thinking about it? Uh-huh. Oh yeah, what's your favorite kind of cake there, Faraday? It will. Yas, queen. Red velvet, mine too. Nice. I want to try blue velvet. I remember when they came out with red velvet Twinkies, I was like, "You're mad. It's too much power." Oh, Final Fantasy 15. But played it and it's not that egregious as people put it on. I can kind of dig it. You know, it's a semi-open world. Not, but the side quests are extremely repeatable. So they can drag. What's weird is though is that it feels like they're kind of fun in my opinion. Probably I'm still able to immerse myself. So it's one of the few open world games where like it doesn't feel like a total drag to me. I like the car ride. Just listen to the Final Fantasy tunes. The fishing's kind of fun. I mean, literally, me and the chat made our little chant every time we played the game. Every time we boot up Final Fantasy 15, we're like, side quest, fish, fish, fish. Side quest, fish, fish, fish. Let's go! I still never beat it though, just because you gotta figure out how to balance the side questing, because if you just play like the main story, you might actually get your ass kicked a few times. But if you do every side quest, you're gonna stomp the story in seconds. You know, because literally, in games like made of like 15 or 20 chapters or something. By chapter 3, you can be level 99. Or something like that. I remember getting to level 75 on chapter 3, and, all the bad guys are level 20. And I realized this isn't fun, I finally met that one Dragoon chick, that Elezen, or what's her name is, like the black and red booby armor. And, I hit her, I took her out 2 hits. I was like, I was all hyped and shit, too, for something new. So you gotta figure out how to balance things, for okay. 15 was better than a lot of other games. True. A lot of games love to add that fishing mechanic, and they're always different. Let's see. Although one time I was disappointed because I saw this in the PSVR store, the Monsters of the Deep VR game. Then I found out it was just basically a VR fishing experience, which you can literally just toggle first person view. Yeah. But yeah, $30 for just the VR fishing game of Fantasy 15. Like for reals. Cause when I saw like the Monster Hunter, I thought, oh, we're gonna go on like an underwater adventure or something. That'd be kind of cool. Good bot. Huh. I know Siri bot can emote, but they're both good bots. Now let's give Katsunya a game, shall we? Welcome to Tilly's Token Picker. All right. So we still have 10 left. And the deal is, you're a winner no matter what. Any token you pick, there's a Steam game code behind it for you. But if you find the Uwu Goose, you get a bonus game. So, my darling, which one would you like? Play fair choose for me? Of course you can. What? Let's see if we have a WA token. I played with a decision. Okay, well, in that case. He goat. That's my girl. Alright. Let's see here. What's behind that horny token? Oh, we got a sci-fi game. It is called Star Wolves. So, nice. And hey, you know, you're cybernetic, so you might vibe with this. You never know. Congratulations, darling. Okay, it's sitting here for your game now. Okay. Trying to find you on the Discord. If I was have to send it to you through Twitch DMs. Yeah. I think I have you on Twitter. Yeah. Oh, that's right. You changed your picture. Okay, I found the right person. So I'm going to send it to you on Twitter. So that's how you picked anyway. Okay. Back to the, to the tier makeout discussion. Oh, no wonder, yep, friend request. Yeah, I'll paste it here too on Discord. Okay, so Fantasy 15. I think it's a pretty decent game. It's just the development hell sucks. It's sad what happened to it. You know, like I wish it came out in the original vision, with the darker death gods and stuff, and the basically and like Stella and not Luna Freya. And you know, Luna's a sweetheart, but I think I would like Stella as well. It's crazy. So it's just it's like I don't hate the game. It's just I'm disappointed, you know, because it could have been much more, you know. Pat the Elf, you got it, darling. Oh, Pat, thank you, darling. Okay, so 15, I'm gonna see here. I'm gonna give it an A. In fact, the Final Fantasy free. I wanted to like this game. Because particularly the PSP remake, and the job system was great. I didn't find it too hard. I just think that basically it's just because it's such a... Everyone loves it too until you get to the Crystal Tower. Then they fucking 180 on it. Like multiple people have that same opinion. I didn't even make it nearly that far. But it's amazing how much FF14 takes from 3. I think my issue is that the game is like literally feels so empty. Like, there's just so little dialogue, so little story, so little direction, you know. That you almost got kind of a guide just to know what the heck's going on in the story. Um, cause the characters have no character to them, you know. They get like 3 lines, yeah. It's just literally, if the game literally didn't feel like paper thin, it's like kind of like someone did when you try to write a whole story on a pamphlet, you know. It wasn't a book; it was a pamphlet. So yeah, this one is gonna be in the C category. Final Fantasy 13-2. I liked it this one more than 13. And yeah, you don't have to run around a straight line anymore. I liked it Sarah's skimpy outfits. The DLC outfits. Apparently they really date the game because you got like fucking Mass Effect outfit and you got the Ezio from Assassin's Creed Revelations. The jump around to the timeline stuff gets confusing though. The combat system's a little better. But is he just wanting to run around in the side quests and stuff? I enjoyed myself a lot more. Oh, this one. This one. Yeah, this one got to be an A for me. Final Fantasy 12, the Zodiac Age. I got to play Zodiac Age yet, but I did play 12 on release. Yeah. Now this is kind of weird because apparently once we got to the PS2 era, games became more and more expensive to make. Because in the Nintendo and PS1 days, we got a Final Fantasy every year, just about. Yeah. So I remember when I got 7, 8 was like a year and a half behind it, and then 9 came like less than a year and a half after that, and then 10 like the next year, and then 10-2 the year after that. And then it was like 4 years later we got a million. Thank you so much for the frog. Oh, it's the frogs. Oh, the cute little froggies. Thank you. Oh, I knew that name sounded familiar. Oh, man. How you doing, little froggy? Yes, you're a cute frog. Yes, you are. Who's a cute froggy? Mwah. Welcome, darlings. Welcome. Welcome, Gaggets. Good to see you, darling. Frog raid. Ribbit. Close enough. You guys be the cute frog. Yes, you are. And that was on the tip of my tongue there. Yeah, I'm actually in their Discord. The Tadpole Army, right? Oh, look at a cute emote. Final Fantasy 14, hell yeah! But yeah, we're talking on the Final Fantasy podcast. Sharing my thoughts on all the Final Fantasies. Wait, how are you, darling? How's your stream? Okay. I wonder if I should separate this episode into 2 parts. We'll see. But yeah, we're talking about Final Fantasy 12 / Zodiac Age. I think my stream went well and did some Shadowbringers. Nice. Had to finish some dishes, but really wanted to do that at least once. Okay, you can take care of the dishes. I'll still be here for a while. But yeah, everyone, thoughts on 12. So it came out 4 years later, from 10-2. At first I was impressed by the really long opening and stuff. Like, it was dark and stuff. Then the battle system came out, and I remember all of us were like, this is not Final Fantasy. So this one, it was like the first one where we got away from the actual, like the turn-based. It was still like semi-turn based, but still it was weird. A lot of mechanics are different too. They tried a lot of different stuff. But I did like the fantasy world itself. I like oftentimes when like I compare my own D&D world to Final Fantasy 12. It's very fantasy-like, but it's still got airships in it. And the funny thing is, when Zodiac Age first came out, everyone like on Facebook was hyped about it. We're so hyped about Zodiac Age, and I was a little taken aback. Like you, like there are more you darlings excited for 12 now than they were when it first came out. You know, like where the fuck were you guys back then? You know, y'all fakers. That's what I think. I think it's just because at the time we were on a big drought of bad Final Fantasy games. Because like just before that, you know, we had 13 and then 14 1.0. And it was just a big slew of bad Final Fantasy games that they're just kind of taking what they can get, you know. Oh, thank you so much for the follow, darling. Amelia, thank you so much. You know, one day I can, you know, I hope to have people, actually, let me go ahead and put this off real quick, go back to the sets. But, you know, I hope to have people on here to interview fellow players. Hopefully you can join me and we could chit chat, you know, about all stuff, RPGs and stuff, you know. It'd be an honor. But yeah, so it's like Zodiac Age. But yeah, I think that people they're sort of a bad school of Final Fantasy games, so they just wanted to, they thought they had some good nostalgia for 12. And that's why, because when got DC Child to that, which can't be too bad, right? Let's see here. So like they once when Zodiac Age finally dropped, and then I got the what's that word, vindication, because then everyone said like, oh my god, this did not age well. Everyone said that about 12, and I was like, ha, yeah, y'all were so fucking hyped about the game you weren't hyped about it to begin with, you know. So yeah, I did kind of rub it in their faces. But yeah, so so yeah, FF12. But I have not played it since the 2000s, and been meaning to do another playthrough. And I never played the Zodiac Age too, so that'll be interesting. So you know what, I'm gonna put it in the C tier. Let's see here. Next up we have Final Fantasy 13 Free Lightning Returns. Go ahead. I'm gonna put this. So I have to put 4 in there twice. So yeah, 13 Lightning Returns. This is actually in my top 5. I think probably my 4th favorite Final Fantasy, 4th or 5th. It's basically Zelda. Final Fantasy Majora's Mask. That's the way it is to make, because you run around a few big maps and towns. You get side quests everywhere, but they're all time based. That's, you know, around certain days and times. It's like, okay, it's Majora's Mask, you know, because you got the one player, and I loved all the outfits, because, you know me, I'm an outfit whore, you know. I love me some alternate skins, you know. It's all just kind of like a reasonable, you know, not too breaking the bank, you know, exploitable shit, you know, that game's pulling. Other than that, you know, I love me some alternate outfits. This one's all about, you know, the fashion. Probably one reason I like 14. It will. And so yeah, this one was a great one just to relax to, and just plan routes and stuff, and do all the quests and get and all the outfits and stuff. This was just great. Yeah, so yeah, my favorite 13 trilogy. It also came at at an emotional time too, because right when my mom passed, and so everyone was still in town. So we just had her having the funeral, and I was spending some quality time with my aunt, and haven't done in a long time. And I remember she just wanted to buy me a couple games at GameStop to make up for like all the birthdays and stuff that she missed. So I remember getting Metal Gear Rising and something else. I think I Never Dead or something. But and I also got this game. So yeah, and love me some Metal Gear Rising as well. All right, I gotta go do the other thing I planned. What was the other thing you planned? Is it a stream? So this one's an S for me. Final Fantasy 9. This one, I don't want to self-promote. Honey, you, do it. I'm all about promoting people. In fact, have we shout out Faraday yet? Yeah, cause I've never been anti self-promote. In fact, I hate channels who are like that. Oh, Symphony of the Night, fuck yeah. Well, Stu did, I missed that one. Symphony of the Night, fuck yeah. I was actually talking about Symphony of the Night earlier. But yeah, so I'm all about helping out my fellow Twitch streamer, you know. We're all in this together trying to chase the dream, aren't we? Trying to get to that 1% of Twitch streamers that can actually make a living off of this. First time playing LoL. Oh, what do you think of it? Like, I had a great time. I don't think it's the legendary status that it's gotten, but I've had a great time. So, yeah. So I've been to streams where you can't even allude that you're a streamer. You know? That's good. And also, it definitely fits your aesthetic there, Faraday, with the, you've probably seen the marionettes, but yeah, it's got that gothic castle, which is basically where your character belongs, or some kind of gothic manor. Anyways, so 9, everyone considers this is the best Final Fantasy, and I can see why. This was like the original team's Final Fantasy. And that's one discussion I probably want to do too, because there's actually multiple Square Enix Final Fantasy teams, and we gotta have like a little discussion on like which team had the best titles to work with. So this one kind of wanted to harken back to all the old ones. And by now it was after 7 and 8, so like the CGI cutscenes had more going on. The characters actually felt more like humans, and they actually talk and develop better than they did in 7 and 8. It's still my least favorite out of the PS1 main trilogy, but I can definitely see why this one shines so much. Like I said, I got that fucking copy from 2007 I get to play yet. It's a 15-year-old PS1 disc. It's still got the new game spell on it, and I still got to play. So this one though, I shall put so I'm gonna give it a B. So I'm more open to cross promotion, and so often I join a chat like, "Are you a VTuber? Your name sounds like a VTuber." Following. Maybe it's because you got the V in your name. Because if when you quick glance it, like you might think it's a VT, which a lot of people put VT in their name for VTuber. Whew. Let's see here. Final Fantasy. What's that? Oh, 1. The original. It is what it started a legend. I remember playing this briefly at a friend's house on NES before I even knew what JRPGs were. And this game still holds up just fine. right amount of challenge. Be a little vague with some hints. Probably the one thing I don't like about 1 is that, at least in the earlier editions, is that it's easy to get lost in. You know, it's 8-bit texture, so everything is green, blue, or brown. The camera's zoomed in right on your avatar on the world map. There is no world map, to help find your way. So I would get lost so often and be overpowered for the bosses when I finally find them. But other than that, though, and the customization's great, I'd say, yeah, I'm gonna give it if this all for prestige, it gets a B. Alright. Final fucking Fantasy sits. Well, let's see here. This is considered the favorite Final Fantasy. Yeah, because I've talked to many Final Fantasy players over the last 20 years. 20-something years now. And 6 is considered the favorite, 7's considered the most important, and 9's considered the best. 6, baby! Two sides of the coin here. I'll start with the negative. There was always a rivalry. It's kind of cooled down a bit, but still exists a bit, between 6 and 7. Like which one was the best. You'd have people like champion Kefka, Sephiroth never destroyed the world. Kefka did though. And then you have us 7 fans like, oh yeah, all I do is change the fucking color of the world. And hell, if you count the NPCs, there's more people alive in the world of Ruin than there are in the world of Balance. So yeah, nice job there, Kefka. I think the story was just a little too deep for me to get at that age. So I must have been mid-teenage years. And remember, sometimes the ADD, I guess let me capture the story. Like, one reason I need to play 12, I honestly don't really remember 12, the story. Not at all. I remember, a scene or two. I'm talking like the story cutscenes, for sure. I couldn't really tell. I think it's all about, just the warring kingdoms. But yeah, I literally don't remember the plot to 12. But 6, there was a lot of deep meaning that I was missing. The thing is, on the positive side, so many people, this is like their favorite game of all time. Like, they're in tears when they praise and talk about this game. And go at length. I've seen a guy talk for over an hour about it straight. So I definitely want to pop it in again. I want to experience what they saw, For sure. I played it one time. Made it to the final dungeon. But then again, I just, didn't really get the mechanics at the time. I was playing with a strategy guide in my lap, but yeah, I definitely need to play it again for sure. I still love the music too, every time you get in that Magitech mounts and you hear that doo-doo-doo noise. Yeah, music. I call it noise. Sorry. Hell, the Mechanicus is based off Edgar Alone. Who's probably one of the least developed characters in the game. Yeah, it's got an odd plot structure too. So I'm actually looking forward to, one day have an episode that we're just discussing Final Fantasy VI. That's gonna be a fun one. So I'm gonna give it a B. Yeah. Because even though I was on the other side of the rivalry, I was a 7 fangirl. I acknowledge its prestige. Final Fantasy Crystal Chronicles. This whole series is a clusterfuck. Basically, it was born out of desperation because Spirits Within, remember that movie, just came out and nearly bankrupted Square. And so they basically quickly reached out to Nintendo to try to rekindle that relationship. So they gave them their own little exclusive at the time series Um, and the game itself is I love the story and the music and the world. It's just the gameplay sucks. Like you can definitely tell this is Final Fantasy's first action game. It's no Final Fantasy VII remake. Oh man, and that fucking that HD remaster that came out the last year. What a fucking travesty. Oh man. So I'll definitely be playing on this channel for someday for fun, but for now it's like, uh, hmm, yeah, a D. Final Fantasy V. This one, I don't have too much experiences with as well. I only played like to the first 3 dungeons, and I put it down for some odd reason. Uh, I think it's just you get it in the anthology set and with 5 and 6, and it's like, oh, 6 is so cooler, you know. Even though I love the freaking writing the jobs in 5. So, and I've been watching other reviews, and I like the cheeky story, the Gilgamesh, and I think I'm gonna enjoy that one when I go take it seriously. So, I'm gonna put 5 at a B. The graphics starting to look like a middle finger. Nice. Final 3, and 3 big ones too. Final Fantasy Tactics. Alright, so this one is my favorite Final Fantasy of all time. At least out of single players. Like, it's just, like, 7's up there, but, like, Tactics just beats it. Story is, like, really grim dark. And I love the gameplay. I love the customization of the party. So much to do in this game. Oh man, so many good memories. It's funny, the game didn't really sell well at first because people thought the strategy tactics games were like too hard at first. So it's actually really hard to find those first couple of years. Nowadays we have so many tactical RPGs and it's just so beloved. Even though I own it, I never put any time into the World Alliance remake. Some people praise it to death, like Alpha Mega Sin, my friend Tito, praise it. But a lot of people say, "Oh God, those fucking load times." It kind of reminds me because I remember there was one game called Spectral Souls or something, or Shattered. But it was a tactical RPG for the PSP, and it seemed kind of cool. But like, it loaded for everything, like every like little, even when you're doing a regular attack on someone, like hit him with your sword, you know, it'd be like now loading, and then he would swing his sword. Like, holy shit, this is bad. But in high school, I had people telling me I should cosplay as Ultima, or even Ultimecia. Or is there a character named Ultima? Oh, right, from Tactics. Yeah. Oh, like the last boss, I believe. That's how my mind's starting to go. That, for me, it's probably, should have been a clue I gave off Fem vibes. Nice. That thing, too, is because that character, let's stick around long. Anyways, but yeah, it's like, I'm fine with, like, loading screens, because, for most of these, I'm going to be playing the PS1 versions. So I'm going to play the PS1 version of 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. You know, for different reasons. Like, with 4, I do have the PSP version, which is, like, the best version I hear. But I said, I found 4 in a fucking junk pile, and it was a pristine, complete copy. You know, I just kind of like flipped over a broken laptop, and there it was, with a couple other Square games. You know, because like basically there was this game shop, and a couple of shops kind of like went under, and essentially whoever took over literally took everything in that shop and threw it out to the dump. You know, so basically, apparently people were just like picking through the garbage just to find free games. And a friend of mine actually found a complete boxed copy of Mystic Quest. Um, but yeah, I was just kind of I literally, and I remember I flipped over a broken laptop, and there was Final Fantasy IV, complete and in mint condition. Final Fantasy VII, Black Label. Final Fantasy Origins, which is 1 and 2. Um, and also Trials, or there's Trials of Mana or something. But one of the Mana games. Like, oh my fucking score. So yeah, I've heard it was meant to be. So we're gonna play a PS1 version. With Final Fantasy 5, I want to play the PS1 version purely for Pirate Ferris. I love a female with a fucking pirate accent. You know, the fact she has it through all whole game. You know, people make fun of that shit and can't stand that, but like, I love that. I want Pirate Ferris throughout the entire adventure. So we're playing the PS1 version. I don't give a fuck. Since it's still pretty good, even though the music takes a little bit of a hit. You know, play the PS1 of that. Let's see here. 7, I want to play the PS1 version just because I got that little HD remaster update version of PS4, but it has the cheat codes built into the controller. So basically, if you push like the left joystick, you're fucking invincible. I'm not kidding. Or if you push R3, you get infinite limit breaks. Or if you push like both of them, you get like a speed up time, which is great if you just want to speed it along, I guess. But basically, you have all the cheat strats built in that come with the game right off the bat. Like, is there a way you can turn them off in the menu? So it's like that temptation's always got to be there. Say if you're getting your ass kicked by a boss, you know, it's like I'm gonna die, but I could go for a god mode. It's just a click of a button. So yeah, I gotta play the legit version on PS3 with a PS1 copy. 8, well, that's because that's the only one I don't have the remaster, so we're gonna play 8. And 9, like I said, even though I actually had the remaster on a PS4, I'm gonna go play the PS1 copy of 9 because I bought me a new copy of it back in 2007, 15 years ago, and I've yet to fucking touch it. It's never been played. So I'm gonna get my fucking use out of that PS1 disc. Oh man. And Tactics, yeah, I'll probably give the original a ride too. And I'll play Word Alliance. But yeah, that was S tier for me. Okay. Well, finally we got Final Fantasy X, which when people ask like what's the first single player Final Fantasy that I should play, it depends. If you prefer more retro pixel style, your first one should probably be 4. But if you prefer more modern style with voice acting and extra CGI, your first game should probably be 10, in my opinion. Let's see here. Great battle system. It's got some good story to it. Yeah. The laughing scene's actually a lot more deeper than people joke about. Because freaking like, because Titus is flipping out that he's got to kill his father at the time, and Eunice facing that constant struggle. Like, I'm gonna basically sacrifice myself at the end of this journey. So he kind of forced a laugh to get some levity out. It's just such a meme, yeah. I just feel like I need to defend it, because it's just, yeah. But yeah, that's literally the first thing that comes up, But yeah, so 10 is pretty damn epic. And see here. But yeah, I will give it Jots. See here, so tactics. And then lastly, of course, we have Final Fantasy 14, which I'm going to go into detail in the next episode. Yeah, but yeah, everyone really needs to know it's Spillane, and that's yeah. Well, I'm here.